giving us a taste of. I mean, this is definitely a classic 2020-21 slate leading into the All-Star break. I mean, like it just doesn't get any more 2021 than this. This is just all. Hey, I was just telling everybody, I just watched live. This is like a perfect way to like signify the first half of the NBA season going into the break. Just a classic 2021 slate where it very well may be that there are more people out than in for the whole slate. I heard rumors that the Toronto game might not even play. It was, but maybe it was somebody just spamming. I'm gonna need like a really good reason just to not just unregister from everybody, from everything. I really thought about it. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm gonna play, but I really was thinking of just doing. I mean, this is just like just heaping it all on right at the. I mean, this is who's in. I mean, like it's ridiculous.
Did I miss another thing? I mean, I'm pretty up to date. What did I miss another guy out?
You see all the Houston's out.
Yeah.
Dallas is out.
Yep.
The Lakers are out. I mean, like look at some of these guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's for me. The guy, it's a little choppy. It's hard to hear.
Yeah, excuse me. Detroit's out.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to have a narrow pool and then try and fit in some fun plays. Not fun. I mean, plays with upside. This is a lot of stuff going on. Really appreciate the kind words there from look forward to this. Check in every day and appreciate the free content. Yeah, really, James, thanks a lot, man. K9 Bronco saying, how do we sort through all this? Well, we do it slowly, okay? So let's take things one step at a time.
Sure. Let's
wait for some fresh projections to update. Let's find
I got pretty updated projections right now. I just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah, I think that. Well, yeah, okay.
Of course, because the top play on the slate is who we thought like 6 hours ago, Spy Mahulik.
I don't think anybody. I don't think there's any reason to really go there. But
really?
I mean, not that I'm finding yet. I don't. Maybe. I mean, like literally the worst possible version of guys to play here would be this guy.
What about Siku?
Much better play because you don't want the guards. The problem is there's too many guards. So we can't talk about plays we like. This is what drives me crazy about other shows. So let's do it the right way. We don't want to play value guards as much as possible.
What happened to you?
Not going to play him.
You froze a little bit. So I think I know what you were getting at, that you don't want to play the value guards because you want to spend up for the guards, right?
Or you want to play the value that's like Jalen Brunson, or THJ at least has small forward eligibility. Trey Burke, these are better value. Trey Burke is a better tournament play than Svi by about 5,000 times.
And explain to everybody why that is.
Svi doesn't do anything. He just shoots threes. The only games he's gotten there, and they've been in this 8-man situation before with him, he's made 3 or 4 threes, and he might do it again. So what? He could score 30 and it's not going to bother me any. I want the guys who could have a chance to get 50. And I almost don't care about the price because we're loaded. We're loaded at guards. We have too many good guards. We have too many guys out there. Harden's a great play. You got the Houston situation, all the guys who I didn't like earlier now I do like because that situation. You've got Brunson. I already mentioned the Trey Burke is like, if he hits, he might hit by like 15x. He's got that kind of upside. But like, there's just plenty of them. There's too many of them. And we want to play, if you want to spend up, who are you spending up for on small forward, power forward, and center that you feel great about today?
Can we just have fun before we take it slow and be real? I would just have some fun first. I just want to for fun, put Harden, Curry, and Lillard all in.
Let's do it.
And then even get greedy and play Brunson at 5,300.
I think you can do it.
Let's see. Let's just see. I'm not saying these are going to be good plays, but this is you don't get to play Terence Davis because he's a guard. So let's put. I'm not saying these are good plays, but let's just put in Horton Tucker at small forward. Power forward, let's put in Siku. Center is where you run into the issue. Oh, no, you can play Patton, right?
Yeah. And I want to clarify
or Isaiah Stewart.
Let me clarify something real quick, though, because I am going to play a little, like, Svi will end up in a couple of my lineups just because I have a lot of lineups, and I want some differentiation. So I'm not saying you can't play him. I'm just saying that that's the kind of value that you're looking to kind of avoid usually, just from a regular DFS perspective. You have a no usage guy who's reliant on hitting threes versus a guy like Terence Davis who could break the slate with 50 fantasy points, like as he's done before. Svi would have to like make every. I mean, he's a significantly worse play in my opinion for upside in tournaments. Also, he's probably, because of the ownership, because of the way it's going to show up. He's gonna come across as more appealing than Davis by quite a bit. So I think that you're better off. The only problem is he does fit into like game stacks also, so that just becomes a whole nother thing. I just want to throw that out there. Sorry, just keep going. I just wanted to say my piece.
I'm just not saying you have to do this, but if you do this right, and then you have 3,400 left at a forward position, you can't quite get anybody that's really any good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with playing. I still have no problem with THT.
No, I have him already.
Oh, okay. I'm not looking at your screen. I'm trying to figure out my stuff. Too big of a slate. I can't look at your screen.
Oh, well, sorry, I was getting greedy. I was paying up for Brunson.
Well, just play hard. You can play Hardaway at a forward spot instead. It's not significantly worse or anything.
Yeah, but you don't want to play Brunson?
I like Brunson, but I like Hardaway too. I like Brunson better, but he's a guard.
Right.
So
you can't play Hardaway in the forward position. That's right.
Yeah, that's that. I can't see your screen. It's so hard to see. It's so tiny. Let me see if I can see it on my other thing. Oh, here we go. It's a little better. Okay, so yeah, there's so much value. So anybody who's like, to me, if I was like Svi is probably going to even get there tonight. I think it's again, I'm going to mention it's the wrong DFS play. I'm curious what the ownership ends up on him. If he ends up unowned and you're using him as part of a game stack, go ahead, be my guest. Absolutely on board. But void is the Svi value.
Yeah. So like, for example, like if you wanted to play all three studs, you can definitely do it.
You say all three, like the obvious three. I don't think that's necessarily true, unfortunately.
Oh.
There are three of them. It's weird because Joel Embiid crushes these guys regularly, and just because he's against Gobert, we really think he's not going to put up 60 fantasy points? I don't know. In a tough game, I bet he does. So, okay. And I don't like center that much today, so I definitely will have some Embiid.
And all this is what happened to Boucher is a good play.
He's fine.
Yeah, he is, right?
There's absolutely nothing reliable about him. Anytime he's chalky, they will do everything they can to play him limited minutes. They do not play him 30 minutes. They played him 30 minutes in one game. So just keep that in mind.
All right, so you want to go through these? I want
to also reiterate with basically all the other guys out, everything the same exactly against Houston, one of the worst teams in the NBA. The other day, the only thing different was that Van Vliet was out, and Boucher put up 26 fantasy points. That would kill your lineups tonight. So I have some Boucher. I like him a little better on FanDuel because the block shot equity. They're not going to run their offense through him. He's a heat check guy. Anytime a heat check guy gets into like the chalkiness, it's just be very wary is what I would say. I actually don't think he's significantly a better play than Al Horford. I actually think Al Horford is probably on average going to have more fantasy points here. I don't know that he'll crush him, but I think Al Horford is probably a better play. I think Miles Turner is right there.
Would you go back to Nicholas Claxton tonight?
Yeah, let's talk about real things. I mean, that's fine, sure. It feels so cute. Like, why are we? That's what I have some of him. Like, it makes a little bit of sense, I guess. But what are we playing him for?
Okay. So you want to look at something real? Just do me a favor. Look at my screen.
Okay.
So this is a FanDuel lineup that I put together before any Detroit news came out, before any Houston news came out. So this is something you could do. So this plays four Cowboys, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
This plays all the Cowboys, and it runs it back with Shea. It plays Schroeder, Boucher, and Towns. Okay, like that. That's a lineup you could play.
Sure.
And it's got Ingram.
It's got who? It's got Ingram, which is just an adequate play to me.
Well, good. I mean, I can't have everybody uber chalky, right?
And Josh Richardson is like really, like, he's going to be chalky, and it's really, really thin. He doesn't really get a huge boost like the other guys do. Can always get hot, can always get some steals and stuff. But I have one Josh Richardson lineup out of like 20 lineups on FanDuel. So he's way low.
This was all before Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to take Josh Richardson and try and turn him into Sadiq Bey, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, let me look and see what my FanDuel runs look like here. Brunson, Patton, Hardaway, Schroeder.
Guys, get your questions in, because I'm gonna at 3:45 at 6:45 Eastern. I might just be out. I mean, when I have this many lineups and this much money, and we have people yelling at us for not answering questions, it doesn't make me feel like I need to do this, and we're doing it for free anyway, and thousands and thousands of dollars on the line. I'd like to focus on my stuff, so I'd love to answer the questions as early as possible, if possible, today.
Well, can we have some fun? Can we do the same thing on FanDuel? See if we can do the same thing over there.
Sure, do your thing. I'm going to try and focus on what I'm going to be doing, because I don't know if this is the right idea of how to build lineups. I think we should talk about plays. But sure, we can go ahead.
But I'm putting the best plays in.
Yeah. It's basically cramming, but I think what you're doing is what everyone else is doing.
You think so?
I mean, it makes sense. You know, the first, like, I usually do that. I try to just see, okay, if I try and do this, what can I get for this and that? But I feel like that's an early day thing. I don't feel like we want to be doing, you know, look, you can try and get these guys in, but you're like to play Nicholas Claxton and forcing that kind of a value just feels like you're asking for trouble. Now, he does have upside, so I kind of see it. Like, it's weird. It's a weird spot, because he could get there. But why like we had all this extra.
Let's stick with FanDuel for a minute. Let's talk about plays then. Like, who's your favorite play on FanDuel?
So my highest owned player, Norman Powell is one of them. Sadiq Bey is one of them. Dennis Schroeder is one of them. Both Curry and Lillard together or separate. Kuzma, PJ Washington in the power forward spots actually are interesting to me. I like Porzingis. Center, I'm rotating between guys. I actually have some Patton lineups. I have some Harrell lineups. I've got some Cantor lineups, and I've got some Towns lineups. I even have a couple Wiseman lineups, but that's just like really long shot $3 type stuff. We can do positions if you want to. Do you want to do that? Should we go position by position on FanDuel? Maybe it'll help us sort of settle this. Because there's 10 games, there's a lot of stuff going on. Sorry if I'm like stressing all over the place. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly makes sense. Because for starters, like Sterling Brown, for example, will show up as a great value at 3,900. I won't have any Sterling Brown on FanDuel.
Oh, I'd much rather play Jalen Brunson than Sterling Brown.
Yeah, or Schroeder. And by the way, how about Dennis Smith Jr.? Like, sorry.
Right.
I'm playing Dennis Smith Jr. for sure. But I do like Sterling Brown on DraftKings because you get the forward eligibility. The guards are loaded, and that's where you want to spend mostly today is guards. But you also want to spend mediumly on some of them. So like Lowry, obviously. So my top guys right now are Lowry, Lillard, Schroeder, Brunson, and the Fox. These are actually all my guys. And Fox, and then Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to seem like the thinnest, and I think he's got the upside to just absolutely crush. He's going to be I think he's going to be very low owned because people will prefer Schroeder and Brunson as just the obvious chalk stack. But you play him with one of those guys, and boom, you're in business because he could easily crush both of those guys.
So I like Lillard and Brunson as the top 2 point guards. And I really hope, I think I know what I might want to do. If somehow, some way De'Aaron Fox doesn't get owned, that's something I can do. But
I think the ownership on him will be lower than the projections right now, if that helps anything.
I mean, Schroeder is obviously an incredibly strong play also. So Schroeder, Brunson were like you know what I mean? They're like the value, I think.
And I think everybody's going to go there.
Yeah, and then Lillard and Curry more so Lillard on DraftKings, on FanDuel, I think, with the upside play. And then maybe Fox could be the one that's I don't want to say overlooked, but maybe looked at less. I don't know. I might consider that.
Yeah, and I mean the only other one we didn't mention is John Wall, who you can use for stacks, and he's actually going to be pretty popular, which is odd, which I think is part of what's going to take away. But it's because they don't have enough bodies. I think they get smoked. So I'm going to play a little bit of the they get smoked line. You know what I mean? I have to. Because
does that mean you're not playing as much Harden?
No, I still think Harden gets there big time in the smoke. Like even if they smoke him, I think Harden
in the smoking, huh?
He's too likely to be the highest scoring player on the slate to me. Just period, raw points. And by the way, raw points are definitely going to matter because we've got all this value.
At small forward, I want to disagree with you slightly.
Let's do it.
Well,
small forward.
Shooting guard first. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So shooting guard, Harden, and then Hardaway, maybe.
Yes.
Hardaway, maybe. Let me just look real quick. Shea. No, Hardaway's a strong play. And Taylor Horton Tucker, if you want to do that.
Yeah, and then I can go back to the guy who's unowned in all this stuff, and that's Lou Dort, who's going to play. Who's the only one we know is going to play all these minutes between. We don't know how many he's going to play and all these. I like Hardaway. Hardaway makes the most sense to me. He's 4,300. Let's try. But Lou Dort is 3,900, and if we're going to be deciding between Terence Davis, Svi Mykhailiuk, and whatever, I think Lou Dort is absolutely in play. He actually can get some steals and blocks and stuff. Svi, if you're going to play him, I would suggest you do it on DraftKings and not FanDuel. Personally, I don't love the upside for him. I mean, it can get to 30, but he has to score like 20 real life points, and there's no reason why I think he's going to do that. I know they're short-handed, but he's not like on a different slate. Sure, we'd be all over this spot, but this is not the spot. I mean, this guy just played 20 minutes and put up 6 fantasy points. He played 19 minutes the game before, put up 8 fantasy points. Played 30 minutes, put up 15 fantasy points. These are not encouraging, and I know they're less bodies, but are they going to turn him into magically an offensive creator against what is actually like become a decent enough defense? I don't know. It just feels really thin to me on FanDuel.
Yeah, well, I wanted to disagree with you on. Well, it's not necessarily disagree because the price is different. As thin as he might have been on DraftKings, I think Josh Richardson is a really strong play on FanDuel. I don't know.
He's fine.
Yeah, I like him at 4,600.
It's to me, I'm never going to be the person who's going to load up on a guy who's going to be 50% owned, who has literally not gained anything from today when there's tons of guys who did. Nothing is better for him. You know, it really isn't. Luka being out is not a big boost to him. He's the guys who it's a really big boost to are Brunson and Porzingis, first of all, Hardaway next, and then Richardson is not a guy who's out there creating his own shot. He never creates his own shot or shots for others, particularly. This is not who he is anymore. So I actually think Porzingis being out affects Richardson more than Porzingis being out makes Josh Richardson more of a play than Luka does, because you're getting Luka's 3-point looks. I'm sorry, you're getting Porzingis' 3-point looks. In this case, you're not getting anything. So I would just so much rather play Saddiq Bey by like 500 million miles. Josh Richardson I would rate as a similar play to Justin Holiday. A little bit ahead of him, but I don't like either of those guys particularly. I don't like Dorian Finney-Smith. If we get the word that Hayward's in, I would be happy to play Hayward, and I would just be more happy just to play Norman Powell.
Last I heard, I thought it was probable or something. No? Yeah,
I think he's going to play, but I don't have it official. Norman Powell would be my guy above those guys. So I have a lot of Powell, Bey, some Ingram in there. It's not a pretty position, which leaves you. And I do have one lineup with a Richardson in there. but mostly I'm looking elsewhere, and I don't see it as being a huge boost. But now you look at the position, it is pretty weak. One thing you could do to get different a little bit, you can play Harrison Barnes. I know that sounds thin. This guy's playing a million, like literally playing like every minute of the game. He's played 40 and 42 minutes the last 2 games. He's put up in his last 3 games 42, 50, and 41. We would be happy with that for 6,800. And he would fit into the Laker game stack if you wanted to go different with it. So that's where I'm at. But again, is fine on its face. But when you start factoring in that ownership and a guy who's probably going to end up with like 5x, like, I mean, I've been playing Richardson all year long at like 2% at different spots to try and get my 5 and 6x. This is not the night I want 5 or 6x from that position.
Power forward, I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but Kristaps is probably the best play, I think.
Yep.
And you have the same caution with Boucher exists on obviously exists on FanDuel also. Do you think that again, I don't know why I think this, but do you think Markieff Morris is like a sure thing to play?
There's absolutely no reason I think he wouldn't play.
Okay.
He's not a guy who's like that at all.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
Then he's a very strong play. I mean, like.
Yeah. No. But what I was gonna say, he might be limited in minutes and production. So not like limited big time. I mean, okay. So what I'm trying to do is turn my Markieff Morris into Deshaun Tate. I think he's the better play. He's 4,900, too cheap. Chris Boucher, I actually think is going to have low ownership over here, lower than people think. So I'm interested in him. This Sabonis, I'm really tired of this. I think it's stupid. These midday Q tags, I would usually just assume Sabonis is going to be out. But we've seen way too many of these lately that the guys have ended up playing from Indiana specifically. They had Brogdon questionable midday twice, and both times he announced him in. I liked what we did this morning. I would load up on PJ Washington and Kyle Kuzma also, if you're not going to play the other guys. PJ Washington is in a spot where he was 60% owned and now he's a lower price. And I understand that there's a bigger slate and all this stuff, but PJ Washington, man, he can do some business in this matchup against Minnesota. And Kyle Kuzma, like they might need him to score 35 real life points. You know what I mean? Also, Tobias Harris, really cheap. I'm not going to go there, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And then I think Zion at low ownership, although I think that the ownership is flawed on him. I think he'll actually have like in the teens of ownership.
Who?
Zion.
Yeah, he rates to be a good play.
Yeah.
At center, I'd like to pay up. I'd like to play Towns actually.
Yeah, I think Embiid is the better play, but I'm finding more Towns. Somehow that 700 seems to keep eluding me.
It does. It does. The 700 seems to help.
Yeah, it's bizarre though, because it shouldn't probably on this slate, but it does. It really does. I think Jared Allen is in a great spot. I think that's the sneaky play.
He's gonna be like negative owned. Yep.
0% owned. Jared Allen, look, what have I been saying about big men against this team? They've been just massacring. And we know Jared Allen's, block shot ability, he can get some steals also. He's just got a huge ceiling and sort of fits in better than anybody else in that price range.
Why is there an updated projection on Mo Bamba?
Because we have no Fournier.
Okay.
And just take a quick look at I'm going to take a quick look at the Orlando Magic, and I'll answer some questions in just a minute after that, because I do want to. Boy, this is Orlando. How are they barely underdogs in this game? Yeah, I don't think that does anything for me. I'm not going to like Terrence Ross on FanDuel maybe. Most slates it would do something. This slate it doesn't do anything really. I don't. Sheets, do you have anything different? I have not. I mean, maybe Michael Carter Williams a little bit more.
I wasn't getting to any of it.
Well, I mean, but this happened while we were on air here.
Well, I mean, I'm updating it right now. I mean,
yeah.
See where
MTW does make a little bit of sense on FanDuel, I guess, but I still like my other guys better. Gordon Hayward's in, Cody Zeller out. So Not quite as good a situation for PJ Washington, but I still like him, and I think he ends up getting plenty of minutes. You know, what's crazy is I would have gone back to Biombo, but it's just it's one of those feels too thin now. You know, sort of along the Claxton line.
Yeah.
All right, so questions, guys, and I will spend 5 minutes. Let's see, catch up these guys.
Yeah, I can catch up. I just don't see it on my screen.
Don't forget about Hood if value is needed. They're giving Rodney Hood. So Rodney Hood, I'll just tell you right now, do not play Rodney Hood on this slate. If you do, you're making a terrible mistake.
I thought you were going to lay on the not the Andre Bembry. Who was it from last night? Who was the worst play in the history of DFS? What was that?
No. I didn't say the worst play. I said he's a terrible play. I don't remember. I've said it every day.
Who was it though? No, it was somebody good. It was no, it was a very forceful anti-recommendation. I forget who it was now.
I don't remember either. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Sheets, you got some love from Monhell here, saying that you're always guaranteed money when he gets to see your FanDuel account.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got some FanDuel going on. Dennis Smith Jr. Look, Dennis Smith Jr. We say oof about him. He's hit every single game, pretty much lately. Everybody's like this Dennis Smith Jr. thing as if it's this crazy idea. They have 8 bodies. They have less than they have had the whole time, and he's put up 30 every game. So I don't really know what I'm missing here.
Who?
Dennis Smith Jr. Everybody says it. Every other analyst, it's groupthink mentality that at its worst, and it destroys people because they act like
people are just saying he's bad. You mean?
You could think he's bad. It doesn't matter. He's putting up 30, and
but what are people saying? I mean, like
Dennis. He said Dennis Smith Jr. Oof, but it's the same thing I was hearing on every other show today.
Oh.
People are like, "Oh my God, we might have to play Dennis Smith Jr." I'm like, "What the hell's the matter with you? Play Dennis Smith Jr. Embrace the variance. Maybe he puts up 15. Maybe he puts up 60. He's got that in him." Maybe I missed it, but not enough Orlando love tonight. How can we love Orlando above these other teams? Orlando has 10 bodies. We've got teams with 8 that are in much better situations. And I don't know who you love in Orlando. So let me know who you love, and then I'll let you know what I think on that one.
I'm gonna have updated projections with the Orlando stuff in about 3 minutes.
I do like what Jamie said about Vooch at center on FanDuel. That I can get behind. And I actually can get behind him on DraftKings.
Is that what's happening? I mean, that's where the builds are going, right? I mean, we're going to be able to pay up at center, right?
You can do whatever you want at center. I think Patton's fine, and he's going to be popular too.
Oh, you think so?
There's 8 players against Brooklyn in the best matchup possible. He could sneeze his way into 30. Wow, Terrence Ross starting.
Terrence Ross? What? He wouldn't normally.
He never does. Even usually when they're short, they'll try and bring him off the bench because he's sort of the Towns or Allen on FanDuel. I have some of both K9 Bronco, and they're obviously very different prices, so it really depends on your build. Honestly.
Those are totally different plays. You know what I mean? Like, if you play cash, there's literally no need to play Jared Allen.
Mm-hmm. Is Bojan on FanDuel okay for last spot on FanDuel? Powell is my other small forward. Like, I don't. If you just play. I mean, Sadiq Bey is a better play just because you have to leave some money on the table. Find somewhere else to spend it, maybe. But Sadiq Bey is a much better play than Bojan. Bojan is not a good player ever on FanDuel, which is why he's always underpriced because he makes threes. That's what you're counting on him to score. So
yeah, but he could score.
Yeah, sure. And so he's got a terrible matchup to score, and you've got Sadiq Bey with 8 bodies. Sadiq Bey is projected, I think, to score like 10 more fantasy points than he is. And he's 400 cheaper, so I would just do that.
Okay, so you want the news on Orlando as far as my DK?
It's only Vooch, right?
What?
Is it only Vooch? Is that what you're going to say?
No, it's only Chuma Okeke.
Yeah, I understand it.
That was it. I'm just reporting it. I don't know if I'm playing it. That's the only guy that for some reason showing up.
Yeah, another guy who plays 30 minutes and gets 3 fantasy points. I mean, yeah, he's a good real-life basketball player. He will be at some point, but it's not for me.
Well, I'm just glad that I'm not being forced into, like, these Orlando guys.
No, but MCW is going to look like a great play in a minute once they update FanDuel.
I don't know. Let me see. I got FanDuel. Let me just see what that is.
Raptors are starting Lowry, Davis, Powell, Watanabe, and Baines. Not surprised at all. Chris Boucher is now a much better play than he was before, by the way.
Yeah, Michael Carter-Williams is looking good, but not like, but not like better than Dennis Schroeder, for example. As a matter of fact, I mean, it's fine. I mean, maybe he is worth a little more love here.
Okay, I got to build my lineup soon, so hopefully that's all. Could it be a Thalen Horton-Tucker night for the Lakers?
Terrence Ross on FanDuel.
Well, hold on. Let me try to answer the question. Taylor Horton-Tucker, sure. Yes, he's a good play. That's not an unusual. Like you didn't get a unique feeling. Everybody's been talking about him today, but he is definitely in play. Shit, I got so many lineups to get to. All right, Sheets. Guys, if there's no more questions for right now, I'm gonna go build my lineups out.
Well, you guys could watch what I'm doing. It's fine. I mean, I'm gonna build a couple more FanDuels. Now, again, I'm sorry about this, whoever on hell, but I really doubt this is gonna be the end result. I'm gonna rebuild it, and I'll show you what I got, and then we'll see. Because I'm not playing like a lot of entries in like the $3 tonight. I'm playing like bigger buy-in type stuff, so I don't need to go completely off the wall here.
Okoro, we got another question. Do I like Okoro? Okoro would be one of the worst possible plays you could make.
There we go. Now Bobby's back. That's what I want.
Now we're in business, because that would be a terrible play on this slate.
There you go.
Regardless, and look, you cannot look at results, because that guy is occasionally going to get there because he plays 30-plus minutes every game. There is no reason to play him today, and if you do, you're making a mistake, in my opinion, in any format. So. I get a little feistier when I have less, a lot of stuff to go on and try and figure it out. The more I look at it with Speed, it's kind of irritating me, because I'm trying to figure out where all the minutes go. Jesus, he's going to play so many minutes. He's a guy you'd play in cash to me for sure, but I don't think that you want to be playing. I still feel weird about playing him in tournaments. Just feels so wrong. And they actually have more bodies. They do have 10 bodies. Yeah, he's a cash play for me. To me, I don't think you want to be messing around with too much fee. He could, I would rather play Demboya because of the position scarcity or the position difference between forward and. I mean, also remember, even if they get rolled, now Svi still might stay on the court. Actually, the guy who no one's talking about for some reason is, and maybe this will happen tonight for the first time, Sheets. Maybe we'll finally get Saban Lee on the court at the same time as DSJ.
Do we like? Is there a reason why we're not playing Gordon Hayward?
I've mentioned 100 times that I like him.
So the answer is no. There's no reason.
Yeah, there's no reason. I guess, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to be feisty, guys. I get a little frazzled when it comes to the big slates. Right at the end.
I know when not to tick you off. If I really want to get you mad, I'll mention that Josh Jackson's bad again. Then we'll.
Josh Jackson's what?
That he stinks. Then we're going to really start fighting again.
Josh Jackson was going to have a monster game tonight, and that really threw me today when they took him out of there.
Yeah, I was going to overpay for him on DraftKings in some variations.
Yeah, I was going to be all over him. I'm really into DSJ, guys. I might seem thin, don't really care. Clint Capella.
I'm getting an inordinate amount of.
This is really important. Clint Capella is not expected to play. Important in the sense that I think that makes John Collins a good play. In fact, that probably makes John Collins a very good play. Boy, oh boy, what else are they going to do to match up with Vooch?
Is Bruno still on the team?
So now Vooch is a much better play. That's one thing. So I think Vooch is probably ahead of Towns. Well, it's really close. It's Chicago. I don't know. That's a really close one, actually. But yeah, Vooch is probably ahead of Towns, just to call that one like it is. All right, I got to get my lineups together.
I want to get the good luck here. I want to give somebody the good luck and show the FanDuel lineups. Now
get on hell. He's my man. I love that guy.
Now with what's his name? Not Now with the Capella out, I might have to redo everything again. Is Collins like somehow like 6,500 on DraftKings or something? No way, right?
He's 6,900.
It also probably means that Gallinari gets 30 minutes, right?
I mean, he already could have. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he could play. I don't like that play particularly. It's just betting on a guy hitting 10 threes in a night where we have so much other stuff going on, that it feels like it's maybe wrong a little bit.
The only guy I have locked in on FanDuel right now is the aforementioned Terrence Ross.
You have him locked in.
Well, like 9 lineups, not a big deal.
Okay, gotcha.
And you said McDermott's playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I might change that because I just think I'd much rather play Hardaway. Terence Davis is starting. We know that. That's actually not great news for Terence Davis, by the way.
Okay.
Because he does tend to do better, when he gets the usage. And with Lowry with the ball in his hands, he's more of a creator, Davis, than he is. We also have Watanabe starting, which probably is a good sign for his minutes. Maybe not a great sign for his overall performance, but it's still a great sign for his minutes. Powell. Lillard.
Oh, that's mean. I was just about to do something responsible. I was about to withdraw from one or two of these things, but I can't because it filled already.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I guess I got to win then.
It's weird that they don't start Bembry tonight here. Really weird, actually.
So we should probably wait for another Atlanta run, right?
I mean, for me, it's just going to play a little bit of Collins, and it does make Vooch a much better play. Much better play.
What else is going to happen on Atlanta? So it's going to start Collins at the 5. Like, who starts now that wasn't starting before?
What's that?
Well, who starts now that wasn't starting before?
Could be Gallo. Could be anybody. I mean, it would be worse for Gallo if it was. God, everybody's in the world's going to play Svi, so I'm really on my own here. Yeah, it's too weird. I do like Sterling Brown. I mentioned that on DraftKings now.
This is pretty funny.
Was that Sheets?
No, I had projection on Collins, even like pre-Capella. Someone's had 30 points. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's kind of silly. Sadiq Bey, Lowry. All right, so I'm turning into more stacks tonight because I think it's the best chance we have, kind of,
Yeah. Well, which games? Though, you could stack so many different games.
I know that's the thing is you got to pick which ones. Detroit-Toronto stands out because the number of players. So there's the Detroit starting DSJ, Svi, Ellington, Bay, and Plumlee, which is basically what I thought. I know that the projections had other guys, or I've seen some other guys in there like Dumboya. So Dumboya is obviously not as interesting as he was. You need minutes out of that guy if you really want to get paid. But Sadiq Bey and DSJ are my guys in that game. And Toronto very well may just wipe the floor with them, and that might be that. But I also think it's worth it. If I really wish Saban Lee was playing a different position because you're getting I think they might play together. I don't know. It's way too thin, obviously. It's just something I was considering.
So you would downgrade like the who's you said Dick's downgraded? It's not Svi, the other one. On Detroit?
Dumboya.
Dumboya. Let me change this.
You could stack Brooklyn. There's a lot of guys you could stack tonight. That Brooklyn, Houston game on most slates, we would just be like saying, hey, this is a 1-game slate. This is what we got. You know what I mean?
Now it's like, yeah.
It's definitely weird. You're going to need variance to go on your side tonight. But I'm expecting to be lucky tonight. I'm calling it out right now. We're going to get lucky. I'm going to answer really quickly a couple more questions. Let's see. Philadelphia. Okay, thanks again, guys. No pressure. No problem, man. I love you, K9 Bronco. Appreciate it. Wild KCP. Yeah, I don't think KCP benefits without LeBron. It's just a matter of.
Are you playing any Demboya?
I don't have any of them right now. Yeah, people love the Vooch and MCW, and they can have that as far as I'm concerned. I do need to change my fan. I need to make these lineups done. I gotta get these lineups done. Terence Davis, Watanabe, Boucher off the bench. I love this lineup. It's not going anywhere. Right off the bat, I can tell I need Sadiq Bey in there. That's what I need. Boy, how do we? Oh, I think I can get Sadiq Bey in there. Man, it takes me playing Svi to get Sadiq Bey in. Jeez, what a poetic frustration, I guess. I don't know what you call it. It's very aggravating, but it does give me the full game stack. So I do have Svi in one of my lineups here, guys. Oh, I know. You know what? I don't. I couldn't get to him anyway, so I don't yet. My suggestion, though, if you're going to play a guy like that, what you want, like, I would try to play him with Terence Davis. You know what I mean? And just try to get the ultimate out of those guys.
But Svi is starting, you're saying?
Yeah. Probably a downgrade for him, but in terms of upside, but you know, he doesn't do anything anyway. He just relies on getting his shots. He's definitely locked into some minutes, though. He's going to play some minutes tonight. That we know. I might be the only one on this, but I'm playing Watanabe. I don't see a lot of other people talking about it.
I got a sliver.
I'm using him in a game stack, though. That's just to be clear about what I'm doing with it. I'd like to get Boucher. Boy, I can't even do it. Can't get Boucher in. Which kind of messes me up. It kind of messes up this game stack that I was going for. It's trying to stack it without using Lowry. And then playing Dame, trying to stack Toronto, Detroit, and try to play Dame. And, I can almost do this. I want to play Dame and Curry together, though. That's the problem.
I'll do one more run in a minute and change. Svi. Maybe Bembry's a good play anyway.
It's really thin. I'll say that. And the guard, you'll see what I'm talking about with the guard. It's really tricky. Smith. God, it's so tricky.
Let me see one more projection up there. Let me see if there's any questions in here. So I'm going to go through these from the top down, I guess. Raptors will start. I see that. Could it be Taylor and Horton Tucker for the Lakers? Just got a feeling. Yeah, that seems to make sense. He's probably going to be pretty popular But yeah, I mean, definitely makes sense. Do you like Okoro starting? I think he usually starts. You know,
What
was
did you
that
say?
who's
He always
out?
starts. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Shoot. I don't know. I thought I had that one.
Yeah, I'm just going. I'm left to see where is Bagley okay for the last slot. I don't think that Bagley's okay today on this slate. I don't know why. It's just one of those weird ones that if he was going to be good, I would have gotten to him at least in some of my runs. You know what I mean? Like it's something. I can't quite get there. Capella doubtful. You already said that. QQ good. Okay. Give me a wild KCP take without LeBron usage. There's nothing wrong with KCP. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with him. I got no problem with Caruso. I have no problem with well, I don't know if I'm about Wes Matthews or whatever, but I got no problem with any of those Lakers. Sheets, who's winning the API? Anybody Google that for me?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
In reference to this,
I don't know. What does that mean? Who's winning the API? Let me see. I got to Google this. What is the? They want to help me with that before I have to waste time Googling it? Because I definitely want to Google it. Is API like, is that an internet thing or?
Yeah, it is. I don't know what they mean about winning
tonight. Oh, the Arnold Palmer Golf Invitational. Oh, you know what?
That actually wasn't what I was thinking of. Like I was thinking of
go watch the video. If you have no time to watch the video, watch literally the last like 5 minutes of it. Watch the last 5. There you go, Tim. See, Timothy knows what's up.
No, I just thought it was the API. I was like.
I thought I was in like better takes mode. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, API or whatever it is. You know,
yeah.
Okay, so there's a new update here. Let me just see. Can I do this all in 10 minutes? Yeah, I can do this in 10 minutes, I think. I'll find out. So Svi looks like a better play, and Siku looks a little fishier, as you were saying. All right, let's rock.
I have Svi in a couple lineups. It's annoying. It's not right. But it's not my biggest buy-in. It's not my big buy-ins anyway. It's just frustrating. I really, really like Chris Boucher now. This is like a better, like you're going to get lower ownership on him. Only thing that's changed is he gets to play with the backup unit more. He still might close. The minutes are probably going to be the same, but he's going to have plenty of usage. It just feels like a good time to get him. So can we play Harden? What I really want to figure out is what is the Oladipo?
Skylar Mays was updated with a projection of 9 points.
Oladipo and then Wall. Houston, Brooklyn is the other one that makes the most sense to me. Along with the Lakers on FanDuel.
I'm really good at this.
Wall. The problem, like I literally need shooting guard eligibility. Oh, there we go. Schroeder, but that means I have to play him in the earlier. I hate having to use the last guy in the last game in the shooting guard spot.
You got any? Oh, you know what we got to do at some point, maybe tomorrow or whatever. We got to do some takes on the on like the 3-point shooting contest, and like the All-Star game and stuff.
Yeah.
Last year for the All-Star game, I was in Singapore.
Ah. You know, I could really use a little of freaking. I need James Harden shooting guard eligibility so badly with this lineup. Do you have a 3,200 guy who you're particularly fond of or less, other than Watanabe?
No. Yeah, the guy you didn't like. The
in the forward spots.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
But I need it in the forward spots.
No, that was the problem, remember?
Siku would be the guy, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he's only 3K. I mean.
Yeah, but boy, oh boy.
He's not bad, though.
Well, he never does anything, and he's not starting.
Aside from that. Aside from that, he's pretty good.
If I didn't see the other names of them having actually 10 bodies, people are like, oh, they have 8 bodies earlier, and it's just not the case. They have 10 bodies.
That's true. Almost done. I'm going to get this done. We got trucks. We got Xfinity. We got Cup Series. We got a 15-game, 15-fight MMA slate, which in COVID world means there's going to probably be 12 fights actually that happen. 3 different 5-round championship fights.
You're nuts, bro. You're hilarious. I love it. Why am I having such a hard time playing Oladipo instead of Wall? I'm just putting everything on the Wall wants to get revenge thing. Like, I think it may be too much.
The Wall wants to get revenge.
The Wall revenge, I think I got too much of it. And maybe not. I mean, he really might go crazy in this game, but the thing is, they're going to get smoked. F it. I'm not playing him. I wanted to. I didn't do it on DraftKings. Maybe I'll get to it on FanDuel.
Yeah, good time. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I had a feeling. This was going to happen. You know who's really? I mean, the projections are kind of. I've had a feeling this is going to happen. Is the projections are liking Danilo a little bit?
It's fine. I mean, look, it's the same thing as always. It really is. So he can go off or he cannot. I mean, it's really not. Nothing's really changed, in my opinion. I want to say again, I do like Miles Turner, by the way, as a center. Do you like Miles Turner?
Getting a little Patrick Williams.
I like Patrick Williams a little bit. Not like a ton, but I do like him a little bit. Fuck. Cannot figure this one out. Capella officially out.
Who's officially out?
Capella. I honestly can't figure out what to do here. This is driving me nuts. I'm stuck in like a really weird spot here. Wow, this is a really unique build. Let's see if this can work out for him. It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for him.
What time is the Detroit game?
First one. They're all first, all the good ones, unfortunately, mostly. All right, let's do these FanDuel real quick. I will have one SV on FanDuel, I think, and mostly it's not going to be SV.
One SV
on FanDuel. I just like the other guys better. I do have more Wall on FanDuel.
More Wall on FanDuel
than I do on DraftKings, yeah. For some reason I was looking for SVI to type in SV and I entered in API because of our conversation.
Oh God.
There's going to be a tiny bit of overlay in the giant FanDuel tournament. I'll probably just have to beat 250,000 people. But there's overlay. I have way too – like I have Norman Powell in like almost every single lineup on FanDuel.
Oh, really?
Like he's not in like one of them for me. But I have one. I'm going to get him out of here. Actually, no, one of my 4 big ones, I should say. So I'm going to get him out of one.
Screw around with. How much Harden do you have on DraftKings?
Hold on. A lot. 55%.
Oh, I'm under that. I got 52.
Oh. That's going to cost you, man. That 3% is where it's at.
Yeah, you got more than 17% Iwan Tanabe?
Like 35.
Oh, shit.
I stacked that game way too many times.
Awesome.
We're going to see, buddy. We're going to see. I also think they really like him, so I sort of rolled with that narrative thing.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck to us, guys.
Yep. Good luck, and then hopefully we'll sweat later. If not, we'll do something for the NBA All-Star Game. But otherwise, it's no more NBA sleeps for a while.
Leave it open for like 30 seconds so I can paste the Discord link in. I'll be in Discord, guys, to answer questions and talk about upcoming games and all that stuff. You guys really appreciate it. This was a stressful one. Good luck to everyone for the All-Star break. Sheets, thank you. And good luck to you tonight.
All right. You got 30 seconds.